today we're going to be talking about the TV show by Nickelodeon known as Avatar: The Last Airbender, in which there is a turmoiled character named Zuko. And despite the treason he performed against the Fire Nation, and perhaps because of it, Zuko is morally justified in all he has done, thus restoring his honor. So first of all, who is Zuko? Is Zuko this gaunt, angry man? Is he this one with a totally different haircut? How about this smiling, grinning child? Or this happy-looking man? Well, Zuko is actually all of these, just at different stages in his life. In the world of Avatar, long ago there were 4 nations living together in harmony. However, as Jared Christian, a scholar at the East Kentucky University, notes, everything changed when 100 years ago the Fire Nation used the power of the flaming comet to complete the nearly full genocide of the peaceful race of air nomads, wiping every single one of them off the planet except for one survivor. Now, with the Water Tribe almost completely subdued, Fire Lord Ozai, the present leader of the Fire Nation, plans to use this very same comet to raise down the populous Earth Kingdom and end the war, ensuring its complete domination over the world. But besides being the leader of the Fire Nation, Fire Lord Ozai is also Zuko's father, and Zuko is the prince of the Fire Nation. However, once upon a time, Zuko accidentally insults his father, leading Ozai to banish his very son on a quest for Zuko never to return home until he succeeds. Now, remember that one air nomad who survived Fire Nation's attack 100 years ago? Well, he's actually a powerful being known as the Avatar, who has dominion over all 4 elements, and is meant to bring harmony to a turmoiled world. It is the nature of Zuko's quest to track down this individual and capture him. As Zuko incessantly reminds everyone he meets, he must capture the Avatar because, you have to understand, I need to restore something I lost, my honor. However, along Zuko's journey, he learns that his sense of honor was severely warped, and in the end, he does work to end the Fire Nation war, but instead of destroying the world, he brings peace to it by actually joining forces with the Avatar to take down his very father. First, the conflict between the Avatar and Fire Lord Ozai, whom Zuko once refers to as the Father Lord. Aang, the Avatar, is a young kid who remained young throughout the 100 years since the Air Nomads' genocide by freezing himself in ice. Now he embarks on a journey to save the world from Fire Lord Ozai. So where does Zuko fit into this? So besides going against the Fire Lord's evil schemes, Zuko also works with Avatar Aang, a force of good, meant to restore peace and balance in an unjust world. As Melinda Janko, an acclaimed director of an award-winning documentary on Eloise Kobel, states, Kobel used her passion for righting a historic wrong and her love for her people to protect the people America had been oppressing, exactly like Zuko found his passion in working for Aang to end the evil the Fire Nation has performed for a century and defend all the people the Fire Nation has harmed. Additionally, when he was younger, Zuko attended a war meeting discussing Fire Nation's soldier movement and strategy. One general suggested using a detachment of Fire Nation soldiers as a decoy for the Earth Kingdom troops, inevitably sacrificing all of the detachment's lives, but paving the way for Fire Nation soldiers to ambush and destroy the Earth Kingdom troops. This was met with general consensus, except from Zuko, who exclaimed that using such a plan would be a betrayal of soldiers who were working hard to fight and defend their homeland. According to Ted Thomas and Ira Chelliff, in Moral Courage and Intelligent Disobedience, Zuko is morally justified by motioning to disobey an order that would directly lead to physical harm or death of their own troops by disobeying an unethical and immoral order, despite the disastrous consequences this will have for him. The disastrous consequences of Zuko's disobedience didn't just get him banished, though. When Zuko spoke out in this war meeting, he was sentenced to an Agni Kai, or a duel of fire. And he believed that in this duel, he would fight the general whom he had insulted. But instead, by insulting this general in the Fire Nation's war room, he actually insulted the Fire Nation, his father himself. And as a result, Zuko would have to duel his own father. Even though Zuko refuses to fight and spills out genuine apologies, his desperate pleas do nothing to stop the cruel advances from his father, who tells Zuko, "You will learn respect, and suffering will be your teacher." Shortly afterwards, Ozai attacks with the brutal strike of burning flame, permanently scarring Zuko's left eye. Ozai, besides being a cataclysmically evil man, was also a terrible and cruel father to Zuko, and Zuko was justified in going against him and joining forces with the Avatar to stop him. Uncle Iroh is Zuko's extremely wise uncle who has a massive influence on Zuko, easily beyond any other character in the entire show. So despite all of the turmoil Zuko has faced, Iroh always stands by Zuko with love. According to TV critic and editor May Abdullahi, Firelord Ozai, Zuko's actual father, had always planned to get rid of Zuko in one way or another so his evil and more powerful sister Azula could become Ozai's successor. That is why Ozai faced his son during Agni Kai instead of the general Zuko disrespected. Ozai, the father that he is, planned all along to dispose of his own son. Meanwhile, however, when Zuko confronts his father, Ozai asks, "Your uncle has gotten to you, hasn't he?" And Zuko responds honestly, "Yes, he has. After I leave here today, I'm going to free Uncle Iroh from his prison and I'm going to beg for his forgiveness. He's the one who's been a real father to me." Uncle Iroh's wisdom has gone into Zuko, and Zuko remembers that Iroh, even though Zuko has treated him badly, was always on his side and acted as a true and loving father to Zuko. Shortly before this confrontation, prompting this confrontation with his father, Zuko, having returned to the Fire Nation, sadly realizes that I have everything I've always wanted, but it's not at all how I thought it would be. Zuko does not have what he wants from the Fire Nation, but instead wants to be with his uncle, and for his uncle to be proud of him. Sometime after the confrontation between Ozai and Zuko, and shortly before Avatar Aang goes to defeat Ozai once and for all, Zuko waits outside Uncle Iroh's tent to ask for forgiveness for all of his past anger towards his uncle, since he has not had contact with his uncle since. He feels reluctant, not being sure Iroh can forgive him, but Katara, Zuko's friend, asks him, "Zuko, you're sorry for what you did, right?" And Zuko replies, "More sorry than I've been about anything in my entire life." Zuko genuinely repents about all the bad he has done in his life and has a true desire just for his Uncle Iroh, a wise and good man, to be proud of him. Zuko's sincere love for his uncle, his sincere desire to be on good terms with him, and his sincere cupidity to be forgiven for the evil he has committed and instead do good, gives him undeniable moral justification for his acts against Ozai. In all, Zuko went against the unnatural of the Fire Nation and Firelord Ozai, and fought all of this evil by joining a force of pure good, the Avatar. His motivation to do all of this was utterly genuine and empowered by love. So therefore, Zuko gets not only just a few medals of honor, but due to all he worked for, he's a true champion of honor. After a long fight, he finally got his honor back. Thank you. And here's a bit of